Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. Now, despite the fact that Mendeecees does not want Yandy to give one of her eggs to her cousin Kesha, she still wants to do it anyway, and so she meets up with Kesha in this episode to let her know that she's going to go through with the egg retrieval process, but Kesha unfortunately got some bad news. Kesha's fibroids are back, and the only way that she'll be able to carry the baby herself is if she goes through another surgery, but because she already did the surgery before, she doesn't want to do it again, so she told Yandy that she's willing to use a surrogate, but that she still needs Yandy's egg. Now, not only was Yandy okay with the whole surrogacy thing, but she said that she would still give away one of her eggs, and she also said that she would help out financially with the whole process, and my thing is she should talk to Mendeecees first, because now money is involved in this whole situation, and when money comes up, that's why a lot of people end up getting a divorce too. Like, if you look at the stats, a lot of people get divorced over money, so I just hope that she talks to Mendeecees first about this whole thing, because she keeps saying yes to everything and guaranteeing her cousin Kesha that she's going to be able to help her without having the conversation with Mendeecees first, and that's the reason why things got out of hand in the last episode, because Mendeecees felt blindsided, and so did Kesha, because Yandy is saying one thing to Kesha and another thing to Mendeecees. Spice ends up inviting Shekinah and Sierra at the very beginning of this episode on a trip to Belize, and she lets them know that Rennie will be coming too. And because Spice and Rennie have been on their own healing journeys this season so far, Spice said that she wanted the theme of the trip to be healing. And I will say, I feel like Spice picked the right people to come with her on this healing trip. I don't feel like there's going to be any drama, because all the women who are going on this trip, it's a really small group, and it's people who really do want to heal. So I think that she picked the right people to go. When Sierra, Shekinah, and Rennie meet up in Belize, Sierra realizes that it's actually her anniversary with Eric. Now, she did file for divorce from Eric in the previous season, but since her grandmother has passed away, she said that Eric has really been there for her and he really stepped up, and she does have some love for him. So by the end of the trip, she's going to make her decision on whether or not she wants to follow through with the divorce. Now, personally, from what I was able to see last season with the relationship between her and Eric, I feel like she should go through with the divorce. I feel like they moved really quickly with each other, and they had a lot of issues. Like, for people who weren't even together a full year when the two of them decided to get married, I feel like they had way too many problems. And she did admit in this episode that he told her that he didn't want to be with somebody with children. She does have kids, so I just don't understand why she decided to go through with the relationship with him in the first place. It's okay to not want to be with somebody that has kids because you don't have them. That's completely fine. But then stop trying to pursue people that have children and then complaining about their children to them. To me, that's stupid. Yandy is really trying to get Mendeecees on board with her giving her egg to her cousin Kesha, so she ends up showing up to one of his business meetings with the realtor, and she sets up this whole really cute picnic for him. But she couldn't fool Mendeecees because he knew that she was only trying to butter him up because she wants to be able to give her egg to her cousin Kesha. So because Mendeecees was not buying it, Yandy ended up telling him that Kesha found out that she can't carry the baby herself, so she wants to have a surrogate. But Mendeecees is still not on board because he feels like she should just adopt a baby if she really wants one. But Kesha does not want to do that. She wants a baby that's related to her, and that's the reason why she wants a Yandys Egg. But I can understand where Mendeecees is coming from, because he doesn't want a baby out here in the world that's being raised by somebody else, and it's Yandy's child. And then on top of that, it's Yandy's child basically with another man's sperm. And then on top of that, he said in the last episode that he didn't like the idea of lying to his children, telling them that this baby is their cousin when really this baby is their sibling. So he has some very valid points, but in my opinion, Yandy's gonna do what she wants to do regardless. He also was not happy to find out that Yandy told Kesha that she would help pay for the whole surrogacy thing. He has an issue with that because it's really, really expensive, and to me, he has a valid point about that too. But I honestly do feel like there's no changing Yandy's mind. Listen, Scrappy is being very, very messy because a few episodes ago, he took Erica Dixon out on a date. And then in last week's episode, he was all over Diamond saying everything that she wanted to hear. And now in this episode, he's taking Erica Dixon out on another date. Look, I'm not saying that Erica cannot deal with Scrappy again if she wants to, because she can do what she wants to do. She's grown. But after the way that he treated her when she was with him and then after they broke up and the stuff that they were going through, I just don't understand why she would want to give him that type of access to her. But I will say that I got a little bit annoyed during this conversation between Erica and Scrappy, because Erica brought up that Mama D called her up really upset, saying that she tried to talk to the grandkids and Bambi hung up the phone. And I understand that you shouldn't use your kids as a pawn and that you shouldn't just sit there and not allow your kids to deal with their grandmother just because you don't like her. But the things that Mama D says about Bambi is disgusting. Like, she always has Bambi's name in her mouth and she says some of the most vile things about this girl. So I can understand why Bambi would not want this woman around her kids. You don't know if she's going to treat your kids right because she doesn't like you, or you don't know if she's going to say something bad about you to your kids because she doesn't like you. So I can understand where Bambi's coming from if she did hang up the phone on Mama D. And just because Erica does not like Bambi, she can't deny the fact that Mama D has done some of the same things to Erica that she does to Bambi now. So I don't understand why she's, defending Mama D or trying to say that, Bambi should allow Mama D in her life regardless. She doesn't have to do that if she doesn't want to. That's Scrappy's job to make sure that his mother has a relationship with his kids. This healing trip that Spice put together is actually a really good trip. Like, I actually enjoyed watching this throughout the episode because there was no drama. Everybody was able to open up to each other and be themselves and be vulnerable. And I just think that Spice did a really good job putting this whole thing together, because had she invited a few more people, I think there would have been some drama. They bought some backpacks and books for the children in Belize, and then on top of that, they ended up going to see a shaman, and I think that that was a really good healing part of the episode. And Shekinah was able to be vulnerable with these ladies. She opened up about how she was pregnant when she was 15 years old and she had to get an abortion, and then she was pregnant again at 24. And she cried and she opened up. She didn't want to. You can tell that she didn't want to. But we don't really get to see like a soft side of Shekinah. A lot of the time she's involved in some type of drama or she's getting into somebody else's business. So I feel like it was nice to see her open up to these ladies. And so it was just a really good trip. But even though this was a really good trip, Rennie ended up getting really sick when they were in the car driving. I think she was really hot. She said that she was starting to get really dizzy. And then she said that she was having pain in her kidney. So she ended up getting out of the car. She had to get water put on her. She was shaking really, really badly. And so they had to bring her to the hospital. And I hope that Rennie is okay. Now, because Mendeecees is still not fully on board with Yandy giving one of her eggs to her cousin Kesha, he ends up going to one of the doctor's appointments with Yandy and Kesha, and you could tell that Yandy was getting really annoyed at the questions that he was asking the doctor. At one point, he ended up asking the doctor if she could get an egg that looked more like Kesha instead of Yandy, and then he started asking about the prices of surrogacy, and it was a lot of money, okay? It was definitely a lot of money, but you can definitely tell that Yandy was getting really annoyed at him. She didn't think that the questions were right to ask at that time because she just felt like he was being a little bit insensitive to Kesha. But at the end of the day, he keeps telling Yandy that he's not okay with the whole process. So her bringing him to all these appointments and stuff is not going to really make him change his mind. But he might change his mind because he did end up hugging Kesha after the appointment. So maybe he's giving the green light on the whole thing. Now, this is exactly why I'm saying that Erica Dixon should not be dealing with Scrappy, because it's just not a good look, because he's still playing the same games that he was playing before. Because after he went on this date with Erica, he ended up making breakfast for Diamond and he was being very flirtatious with her as well. So look, I honestly feel like they're all grown in this situation. If they want to look like fools over Scrappy, they can do that. But listen, I just would not be doing it. I just would not be able to do it. I'm sorry. I mean, look, you can spin the block if you want to. People do it all the time. But at the end of the day, remember that you broke up with this guy for a reason. It did not work out for a reason. And this goes for both Diamond and Erica Dixon. They both dealt with Scrappy more than one time and it never worked out. So what makes them think it's going to work out this time? So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.